I held a warm pumpkin pie, Mom's recipe with extra nutmeg, driving 3 hours through fog to reach home. Thanksgiving's glow-weighted turkey, laughed our family. Then my father's voice shattered it all. Return the 75,000, Vesper, or don't come home, no grace, no questions, just accusation. My family didn't see me. I'm Vesper Quinn, 29, a cybersecurity analyst from suburban Denver. My world is code, servers, and trust earned through precision. That night, trust burned away. The pie, baked with Mom's quirky maple syrup touch, sat heavy in my hands. The table gleamed, steaming stuffing Mom's crystal dish untouched. I stood, smile fading as silence smiled the room. Nora, my sister, stared at her lap, hands clasped tight. Caleb, my brother, traced the tablecloth's edge. Mom, always gentle, avoided my gaze. Her napkin pressed to her lips, trembling. I couldn't breathe. What? I whispered. Void's jaw clenched. Mom's account. 75,000 gone. After you set up her online banking. The word stung sharp and cold. A month ago, I'd sat with Mom guiding her through passwords, apps, security questions. She'd scribbled them in her kitchen notepad, smiling. You're so clever, Vesper, she'd said. Now this? You think I stole from her? I asked, heart sinking. Nora's eyes flicked up, red, accusing. Caleb's voice was flat. Bank says online withdrawals. Only you had access. I set the pie down, tin clinking on granite. My coat hung on the chair. I grabbed it, hands unsteady. Dad's voice followed. 1 week or we call the lawyer. No one stopped me, no one asked. I drove, fog thick, Denver's suburbs glowing with holiday warmth. Porch lights, paper turkeys. Not for me. I checked into a motel, neon sign buzzing. The room smelled of stale popcorn, loneliness. At 29, I secure corporate millions, unravel digital frauds. My family thought I'd rob Mom. It wasn't new. Nora's smirks when Mom praised my job. Caleb's jab, showing off your big salary. Last Christmas, I offered to fix their roof. Nora scoffed, buying us. I'd laughed, thinking family teased. Now, I saw truth. Someone framed me, left in an open drawer. Nora lived there, Caleb had keys. Then the twist. My phone buzzed. A voicemail from Nora. Sense done, she whispered. No one doubt it. My blood froze. Nora planned this? With whom? Anger surged, then sharpened. I saved the message. They wanted a villain. I'd uncover the real one. You've been betrayed, unseen by those you love. Stay with me. This truth unfolds raw. If families hurt you, hit like, share with someone who knows. Subscribe for stories that mend. Comment your pain, we'll heal together. I sat on the motel bed, laptop ready. The fog outside thickened. Nora's voice, the pie left behind, fueled me. I traced their lies. What had they hidden? How deep did this go? The motel's neon sign buzzed outside, casting a sickly glow through thin curtains. I sat on the bed, boots off, the carpet's stale scent clinging to the air. Nora's voicemail, blame Vesper, played in my mind, a cold knife twisting deeper. I'd left Mom's pumpkin pie on her counter, a symbol of a home that had cast me out. My family accused me of stealing 75,000 from Mom's account. They didn't ask if I was guilty. They'd already judged. My hands shook, not from fear, but from betrayal's slow burn. I was Vesper Quinn, 29, a cybersecurity analyst who unraveled frauds for corporations. Yet my parents, Nora, Caleb, saw a thief. The fog I'd driven through clung to my thoughts, thick and disorienting. Dad's voice echoed, 1 week or the lawyer? Mom's silence hurt worse. Her napkin pressed to her lips, her eyes avoiding mine. I wasn't their daughter anymore. I was a stranger. The signs were always there. Growing up in Denver, I was the steady one. Fixed Mom's laptop at 15. Paid for college with night shifts. Nora got new shoes. I got thrift store sneakers. Caleb's band dreams, funded by Dad. My cybersecurity award. A quick nice before Nora's gallery show stole the talk. Single at 29. I was too focused, Dad said, as if my life lacked heart. I helped anyway. Covered Nora's rent, tutored Caleb's daughter, Ellie, in math. Always there, always unseen.
Last Christmas, I'd gifted a home security system. Nora smirked, trying to play hero. Caleb muttered about my big tech money. I'd brushed it off thinking family teased. Now, their words cut. Mom's notepad, her password scribbled in that unlocked kitchen drawer, flashed in my mind. Nora lived there, jobless again. Caleb had keys, always dropping by. I'd set up the online banking. Yes, but they could have seen it all. Nora's voicemail was the spark. No one doubt it. She'd planned this with someone. Caleb, another player. My pulse quickened. They'd turned my trust, my help, into a trap. The $75,000 wasn't lost. It was stolen, dressed up as my crime. I knew fraud, knew how lies hid in code. I'd trace their tracks, not for them, but to reclaim my name. I reached for my bag, pulling out Mom's old letters from her last move. A folded note fell, yellowed, dated before I was born. Vesper, my shame, it read. I was convicted of check fraud in my 20s. Paid my debt, but it stays? My breath stopped. Fraud? Mom! She'd kept it secret. Had Nora known, used it to twist her trust. The letters shook in my hands. Mom's faith in them wasn't just love. It was a scar, a past she buried.
Anger flared, then dimmed. Mom's hidden guilt explained her blind trust in Nora Caleb. They'd exploited it, built this lie. I saw her face at the table, silent, torn. She hadn't accused me, but hadn't stood for me. The pain sliced both ways. I opened my laptop, the motel's hum fading. Nora's voice, the pie left behind, drove me. They thought I'd crumble. They'd lit a fuse instead. I'd hunt the truth. Expose their game, it was close, and I was closer. The motel coffee tasted like ash. I sat at the desk, laptop open, its glow cutting through the room's dimness. Nora's voicemail, blame Vesper, fueled my resolve. Mom's letter, her hidden fraud conviction, explained her trust in Nora and Caleb. They'd used it, turned my help with her online banking into a frame. The $75,000 wasn't gone. It was stolen, hidden in plain sight. I wasn't their daughter now. I was Vesper Quinn, 29, a cybersecurity analyst who knew how to hunt. My fingers flew across the keyboard. Years of tracking digital fraud taught me one thing: money leaves trails. I messaged Lena, my firm's compliance officer. Need Greenwell Mutual data, I wrote. October, Denver branch, Mom's account. Confidential, sure, but I had clearance. Lena replied fast. Sending logs. Be careful. My pulse quickened. The motel's hum faded. I was in my element, chasing truth through numbers, not emotions. The files arrived. Transaction logs, timestamps. 3 hits of $30 and $20 and spaced 5 days apart. Not online as they'd claimed. In person, at the teller counter. I stared at the screen. They'd lied. Said I used the app, my access. But these were cash withdrawals face to face. Not me. I'd been in Boston for 2 of those dates, working. Someone else walked into that bank. I opened Lena's attached notes. Teller logs showed ID verification. Mom's ID. My mind raced. The notepad in her kitchen drawer, passwords, account details, wasn't the key. Someone had her physical ID. Nora lived there. Caleb had keys. They could have taken it any time. I leaned back, the chair creaking. The accusation wasn't a mistake. It was a setup built on Mom's trust, her past guilt. I saw her face, silent at the table, napkin trembling. She'd been betrayed too. I clicked the security footage link. Grainy but enough. October 8th, 1:15 p.m., a figure at the counter. Blonde ponytail. Gray hoodie. Sunglasses. My breath caught. Nora. I couldn't see her face yet, but the walk, the nervous fidget, it was hers. I'd know it anywhere. I'd taught her to ride a bike, bandaged her skinned knees. Now this. My chest tightened. Not just betrayal. Deception. Planned and cold. I opened the withdrawal receipts, expecting standard forms. One caught my eye. A $20 check deposited to Bright Futures Fund. A charity. I frowned, searching the name. No website, no records, just a vague address in Denver. My gut twisted. Fake. A shell likely tied to Nora or Caleb. I checked the bank logs. The same, charity, appeared in other accounts. Small elderly clients, Fund 7 just under reporting limits. Nora wasn't just stealing from Mom. She was part of something bigger. My hands shook. Anger surged, then focused. Nora's voicemail, Mom's conviction. They'd weaponized her past, her trust. I saw Ellie's face, innocent, unaware of her mom's schemes. Mom's silence at Thanksgiving wasn't doubt in me. It was fear of losing them. I opened a new tab, drafting a request for more footage. The motel's walls closed in, but my mind was sharp. They thought I'd fold. They'd framed the wrong person. The truth was unraveling, and I was pulling the thread. The motel's coffee was sludge, but it kept me awake. I hunched over my laptop, the screens glow harsh in the dim room. Nora's figure in the bank footage. Ponytail, hoodie, sunglasses seared into me. The 20,000 check to Bright Futures Fund, a fake charity, pointed to something bigger. Mom's fraud conviction explained her blind trust in Nora and Caleb, but not their audacity. They'd framed me for stealing $75,000, used my help with her banking as their cover. I clicked through more footage. October 12th, Greenwell Mutual. 3:47 p.m. My heart stopped. Caleb at the counter, navy jacket, no disguise. He smiled, handed over Mom's ID, signed a withdrawal slip. The 25 Zalozen. His calm was chilling, like he owned the bank. I knew that smile, shared birthday cakes, late night talks. Now, it betrayed me. I replayed the clip, my hands clenching. Nora on the 8th, Caleb on the 12th, then Nora again on the 16th. Same hoodie, different sunglasses. They weren't careless. They were brazen. My mind spun. How did they get Mom's ID? I remembered 2 weeks before the setup. Mom's hospital tests, routine scans. Nora stayed overnight, her purse in reach. Checkbook, driver's license, bank cards. Caleb visited, brought coffee, lingered. They had time, access. They'd planned it then, waited for my app setup to point the finger. I leaned back, the chair creaking. Mom's letter, her past fraud, flashed in my mind. They'd preyed on her guilt, her trust to pull this off. I checked Lina's latest file. Transaction logs confirmed the pattern. 3 withdrawals, each just below reporting limits. In person, not online, despite their claims. My help with Mom's app was their smokescreen. I saw her face at Thanksgiving, silent, napkin trembling. She hadn't accused me, but hadn't defended me. Her past made her vulnerable, but their betrayal cut us both. My anger surged, not just for me, but for her. I opened the next receipt, expecting another withdrawal. Instead, a $15,000 transfer to Bright Futures Fund caught my eye. The memo read, Community Aid Project. I searched deeper, pulling bank metadata. The account was linked to a P.O. box, no nonprofit status. Cross-referenced with Lina's fraud database, it matched a scam targeting elderly clients across Denver. Nora's signature was on the check, but a second name appeared in the account's email trail, Caleb's ex-girlfriend, Mara, a known con artist. My stomach dropped. Nora wasn't just stealing from Mom, she was tied to a broader fraud ring. My hands shook, fury rising. Nora and Caleb hadn't just framed me, they were running a scam, using Mom's money as a test run. I saw Ellie's face, her innocent smile, unaware of her mom's lies. Mom's trust, broken by her own past, made her their mark. I saved the files, my mind racing. The motel's walls felt closer, the air heavier. They thought I'd stay silent, take the blame. I'd spent years fixing their messes. Nora's debts, Caleb's failures. No more. I'd bring the evidence home, let it speak. Their lies were clear, and I was ready to face them. The motel's lamp cast a faint glow across the desk, its flicker mirroring my restless thoughts. I leaned over my laptop, the screen's cold light sharp against the dim room. Nora's figure in the bank footage lingered. Hoodie, sunglasses, her nervous fidget at the teller counter. Caleb's calm smile followed, handing over Mom's ID like it was his. The $75,000 stolen from her account wasn't just theft. It was a frame, my help with her online banking twisted into their alibi. The Bright Futures Fund, check, tied to a fraud ring with Caleb's ex, Mara, hinted at something far larger. I stood pacing the worn carpet, its stale scent heavy in the air. My fingers itched to dig deeper. Years of unraveling corporate fraud had taught me to trust data over emotions, but this cut personal. Nora's voicemail, she's too perfect to suspect, played in my mind a cold echo of betrayal. Mom's letter, her hidden fraud conviction from decades ago, explained her blind trust in them. Nora and Caleb had preyed on it, built this lie. I saw her face at Thanksgiving, napkin trembling, silent. Not doubt in me, but fear of their truth. I sat back down, opening Lena's latest file. Metadata from Greenwell Mutual. Account activity post setup. After I'd guided Mom through the app, her notepad, passwords scrawled in her shaky hand, sat open that day. I'd left Denver the next morning. The first login wasn't from Mom's phone. It came from a tablet, linked to the home Nora used for her endless streaming. My pulse quickened. Not Mom, not me, Nora in the house had full access. I traced the recovery email, a Gmail account unfamiliar. The linked phone number was Caleb's burner, used for his side hustles. My breath caught. They'd hijacked the account. Changed the recovery settings. The one-time password went to Caleb's number, not Mom's. Audit logs showed clicks from that tablet hours after I'd gone. They'd logged in, set it to look like my doing. My help, patient hours with Mom, was their trap. I clenched my fists, fury rising, not just for me, but for her, betrayed by her own guilt. The room felt smaller, the air thick. I opened Lena's fraud database, diving into Right Futures Fund. More hits, elderly clients, accounts drained just under reporting limits. A pattern, deliberate. Then, an email chain, buried in a flagged account. Nora to Mara, Vesper's the perfect scapegoat. Move funds to offshore after the next hit. My stomach twisted. Offshore. I cross-checked. The fake charity funneled money from multiple victims, all elderly, all trusting. Nora's signature on checks, but a second name. Mara's partner, a known con artist. This wasn't just Mom, it was a network, and Nora was at its heart. My hand shook, outrage swelling. I pictured Ellie, Nora's daughter, her innocent laugh at last summer's picnic. Mom's face, fragile at the table, her trust shattered by her own past. They'd used my name, my skills to cloak their crimes. I saw their accusing stares. Thanksgiving's warmth turned cold. They'd gambled I'd stay silent, protect family. They were wrong. Another email popped up, flagged by Lena's system. Nora to an unknown contact. Ms. Ellis is next. $50 clean transfer. Vesper's access seals it. Mrs. Ellis, Mom's neighbor, widowed, frail. My heart stopped. They were planning another hit, using my name again. The email mentioned a meeting, set for next week. Nora wasn't just a thief. She was orchestrating a string of frauds, with Caleb and Mara as her accomplices. I saved the files, my breath steadying. The motel's hum faded, replaced by purpose. I packed my laptop, evidence secure. The drive back to Denver loomed. I'd walk into that house, lay out the footage, the emails, the truth. Nora's voicemail, Mom's letter. They'd fueled this fire. I saw Ellie's smile, Mom's trembling hands. They deserved better. I'd face Nora and Caleb, let the evidence speak. They thought I'd break under their lies. Instead, I'd build my case step by step and bring it home. The Denver sky hung heavy with November clouds. I parked in Mom's driveway, the engine's tick fading into silence. My evidence folder sat in my lap, heavy with bank footage, emails, and Nora's damning words. Vesper's the perfect scapegoat. She and Caleb stole, threw $75,000 from Mom's account, framed me with my banking setup, and tied it to a fraud ring through Bright Futures Fund. Their next mark, Mrs. Ellis, fueled my resolve. This wasn't just about me. It was about Mom, her trust broken by her past. I stepped out, folder in hand. The house glowed, a false warmth. Nora's car was parked, Caleb's truck beside it. No guests, just family. The door creaked open, unlocked as ever. Inside, the kitchen smelled of coffee and herbs. Nora sat on the counter, lugs steaming, legs dangling. Caleb leaned against the fridge, arms folded. Mom dried dishes at the sink, her hands slow. Dad stirred a pot, shoulders hunched. Their chatter stopped when I entered. Eyes locked on me. Nora's mug froze midair. Caleb's jaw tightened. Mom's dishcloth slipped, her fingers trembling. I crossed to the island, where we'd once shaped Christmas cookies. Set the folder down. Its soft thud cut the air. You called me a thief, I said, voice low. Here's what really happened. I opened the folder. Slid out a still. Nora at Greenwell Mutual. October 8th, hoodie up, signing for $30,000 with Mom's ID. Her face drained. What's this? She muttered. I ignored her. Next, Caleb. October 12th, navy jacket withdrawing 25,000, his smile smug in the grainy frame. Mom gasped, her hand rising to her lips. I laid out teller slips. Your handwriting, Nora, I said. Yours, Caleb? Nora's mug hit the counter, coffee spilling. You spied on us. She snapped. Caleb stepped closer, eyes hard. This is low, Vesper. I held their gaze. Lower than stealing from Mom. I pulled an email. Nora to Mara. Vesper's the scapegoat. Move funds offshore. Mom's eyes scanned it, her breath shaky. You took her ED, I said. From the hospital. Used her trust. Dad turned, spoon clattering. Vesper, explain this. His voice wavered. I face-stole in 75,000, framed me with the app I set up. They're scamming others. Mrs. Ellis is next. Nora's eyes flicked to Caleb, wide with panic. He shook his head, silent. Mom sank into a chair, her hands open in her lap, as if lost. You let me believe she stole, she whispered, voice cracking. Nora's face twisted. You had it all, Vesper, she said, voice sharp. The job, the reserved something. Her words stung, but I saw her, jealous, cornered by her own lies. Caleb's tone was cold. It wasn't about you, Vesper. Your stepmom's fine. I laughed, hollow. It's always about family. Mom spoke, her voice frail. I suspected Nora took my card, she said. In the hospital, said it was for bills. I gave it afraid she'd leave me, my heart froze. Mom knew my past, she continued, tears welling. I feared losing them if I asked questions. I hurt you, Vesper. Her eyes met mine, raw with regret. My throat burned. Mom's guilt, her hidden shame, wasn't just a scar. It was their leverage. I saw her at Thanksgiving, knock and trembling, silent. Not betrayal, but terror of abandonment. I wanted to hold her, but Nora's voice cut through. We didn't mean this, Mom, she said, voice thin. Caleb nodded, unapologetic. Right Futures was a quick fix. I pushed another email forward. Nora to Mara, Mrs. Ellis, 50,000 next week. Nora flinched. You're running a scam, I said, with Mara. Mom's sob broke the air. Dad's face darkened. Vesper, what's next? He asked, voice heavy. I closed the folder. No charges, I said. But this goes to the attorney, you decide. Mom's voice stopped me at the door. Her plea hung, fragile. I turned, heart aching. You deserved better, I said softly. The kitchen fell silent. Nora's mug sat abandoned. Caleb stared at the floor. I stepped outside, keys in hand, the house's warmth behind me. The air was crisp, stars faint. I walked to my car, each step lighter. Their choices would follow them. Mine led forward to a truth I carry home. I stepped onto Mom's porch, the night air sharp with November chill. The kitchen's glow faded behind me, Nora's abandoned mug and Caleb's silence etched in my mind. Mom's voice, I suspected Nora, echoed, her tears a mirror of my own buried pain. I'd laid out the evidence, bank footage, emails, the Bright Futures Fund, scam targeting Mrs. Ellis. They'd stolen a 75 Zollos and framed me with my own banking setup. I left the folder with them, my choice clear, no charges but no return. I slid into my car, keys cold in my hand. The engine hummed, steady where my heart wasn't. Denver's suburbs passed in a blur. Porch lights, paper turkeys, families laughing behind windows. I felt hollow, unmoored. Mom's fraud conviction, her fear of losing Nora and Caleb, explained her silence at Thanksgiving. Not betrayal, but a mother's desperate love, warped by her past. I saw her napkin trembling, her hands open, lost. My anger softened, but the HE lingered. Back in Boston, my apartment felt too quiet. The city's pulse outside was sharp, indifferent. I returned to work, eyes on screens, fingers tracing code. But the family group chat stayed silent. No Sunday calls, no texts. Nora's voicemail, she's too perfect to suspect, sat unanswered on my phone. I let it blink, a red dot of their betrayal. Caleb didn't reach out. Neither did Nora. Mom's silence hurt most, her plea at the door. Vesper, please. Fading like a half-remembered dream. Days turned to weeks. I buried myself in work, securing systems, untangling frauds. But nights brought memories. Nora's laughter as a kid, chasing fireflies. Caleb's guitar strums at summer barbecues. Mom's gentle smile when I fixed her laptop. We were family once. Now I was a stranger cast out for a lie they built. The folder stayed in my desk drawer, untouched. I didn't need to open it. The truth was carved in me. Nora and Caleb's scam. Mom's fractured trust. A voicemail came on the third week. Mom's voice, soft, broken. Vesper, we were wrong. I'm so sorry. She paused, breath shaky. The house feels empty without you. My chest tightened. I played it again, her words a faint bridge over a chasm. I didn't call back. Not yet. I saw Ellie's face, Nora's daughter, her innocent giggle. Mom's fear of losing them kept her silent, but it cost me too. I wasn't ready to forgive. A letter arrived, Mom's handwriting on the envelope. Inside a photo, me, Nora, Caleb, kids on the porch, Halloween costumes mismatched. I was a pirate, Nora a fairy, Caleb smeared in paint. On the back her words, I knew they were struggling. Thought I could help. Feared they'd leave if I didn't. My heart stopped. Mom suspected their scam but gave them money, hoping to keep them close. Her guilt, her past fraud, made her their mark. She'd chosen them over and over, until I walked away. I sat, photo in hand, tears falling. Not just for me but for her. Trapped by love, by shame. I saw her at the sink, dishcloth slipping, eyes lost. My resolve shifted, not to anger, but to something new. I started a project. Workshops at the community center, teaching seniors to spot scams. Each session felt like reclaiming ground. One woman, gray hair pinned back, thanked me. You're saving us, she said. I smiled, thinking of Mom. The holidays loomed. No Christmas calls came. No ornaments exchanged. I didn't decorate, didn't reach out. Nora and Caleb moved out. A cousin said. Mom stopped speaking to them, needing space. I didn't ask more. My workshops grew, faces like Mrs. Ellis filling the room. I taught them to check accounts, spot fakes. Each lesson was a step forward, away from that Thanksgiving table. Mom's letter stayed on my desk, the photo a quiet reminder. I wasn't ready to return, but I was building something. My own path, my own peace. My Boston apartment felt still, the city's hum a distant pulse. I sat at my desk, Mom's letter open, the childhood photo beside it, me, Nora, Kayla, in mismatched Halloween costumes. Her words lingered. I feared they'd leave. She'd given them money, hoping to hold them close, her fraud conviction a chain of guilt. I'd walked away from her house, evidence folder left behind, no charges pressed. Nora and Caleb moved out, Mom needing space. I hadn't called back. Months passed, quiet and sharp. Work anchored me, code, firewalls, clients trusting my precision. But family faded. No Sunday calls. No texts. Nora's voicemail, she's too perfect, sat deleted, its echo gone. Caleb stayed silent. Mom's voice, soft in her message. The house feels empty. Played in my mind, unanswered. I saw Ellie's smile, Nora's daughter, innocent in her unawareness. Mom's trembling napkin at Thanksgiving, her open hands. I wasn't ready to forgive, but the ache softened. My workshops grew, seniors filling the community center. I taught them to spot scams, check accounts, guard their trust. Faces like Mrs. Ellis, frail but eager, listened close. Each session mended something in me. A woman, hair pinned back, thanked me after class. You're saving lives, she said. I nodded, thinking of Mom, her trust betrayed by Nora and Caleb's Bright Futures Fund scheme. The folder stayed in my drawer unopened. I didn't need it. The truth lived in me. Winter came, bare and cold. No Christmas lights, no family calls. I worked, painted, found solace in small things. Coffee's warmth, canvas strokes. A cousin's update reached me. Nora struggled, jobless again. Caleb drifted, avoiding Mom. She spoke less, her house too quiet. I pictured her at the sink, dishcloth slipping alone. My heart tugged, but I held back. Her letter, her photo, stayed on my desk, a quiet weight. Then came the twist. A bank notice arrived, flagged by my firm. Mom's account, frozen after my evidence, showed a new deposit or 75,000 from an anonymous source. My breath caught. I traced it offshore, tied to Mara's old accounts. Nora's fraud ring, unraveling under investigation, had returned the funds, a note attached in Mom's hand. For you, Vesper, I'm sorry. She'd redirected it to me, not keeping a cent. My eyes burned. Mom, scarred by her past, hadn't just apologized, she'd acted. I saw her fear, her love, her trembling hands. The money wasn't the point. Her gesture was. I didn't call. Instead, I donated it to my workshops, renaming them Safe Haven Seminars for Mom. A legacy of protection, not guilt. The first session under the new name drew a crowd, faces like Mrs. Ellis shining with hope. Spring brought change. Mom called, voice hesitant. "I'm proud of you," she said. "Your seminars, they're saving people." I listened, heart thawing. We talked, slow, careful. Nora wrote, seeking amends. I replied, guarded but open. Caleb stayed gone. I built my life, work, art, teaching. The seminars grew a shield for those like Mom. You felt this unseen, betrayed, yet rising. Family can break you, but you can build anew. Choose your worth. Plant your roots. If this stirred you, hit like, share with someone healing from family wounds. Subscribe for stories that lift your spirit. You deserve them. Comment your own journey. We grow together. I stood by my window, Boston's light soft below. The photo sat framed, a memory, not a wound. I'd found my place, not in their house, but in my heart's steady beat.